was working on a video for Marvel Comics yesterday, and I saw something that caught my eye for a second. The Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer. I have my reservation about Ubisoft and AC, but Yasuke is in this game, so I'm sold. And between him and Naue, I think that the storyline looks very original, not just for gaming, but for AC as a whole. Something that the fans could really get behind and be hyped for. But I forgot most AC and gaming fans look and smell like this picture. In all honesty, it does kind of make me remember when I was younger and people tried to make me feel as if I didn't belong because of my skin, or that I didn't deserve my skin because of what I was into. And it hurts that somebody else might feel the same way. And one of the loudest hateful videos like this is a video called Assassin's Creed is Dead for the Third Time. And it's by a cuck named Synthetic Man. Him and his audience are laughably pathetic, and I don't really care how they feel about my video, but I'm gonna just get to cooking with these comments. Maybe because people are tired of seeing you guys planted into other people's cultures, but it wouldn't be allowed if it was the other way around. Besides the blatant racism of you guys, I'd like you to show me one black person in the cast of the movie Coco, or even Raya and the Last Dragon. Frozen is white as Elsa's powers, Turning Red is about Asian American heritage and their darkest character is Indian. Brave dealt with the Scots and had 0 black characters. Luca dealt with Italy and had 0 black characters. Moana dealt with Polynesians and had no black characters. Shang-Chi had unnecessary white characters, if anything. Neo is a game where you play as a white guy who goes to Japan and becomes a samurai, but I guess Yasuke was just too far. However, on the topic of AC, Edward Kenway is a Welsh guy who goes to the Caribbean and becomes a pirate. Now, you could have easily just made that a black guy who was a Caribbean pirate, but they chose the white dude, inserting them into someone else's culture. Or what about The Great Wall, the most white savior movie of all time, where a bunch of Chinese people who have been fighting demons for thousands of years suddenly needed the help of white-ass Matt Damon and his bow and arrow to save them. So this guy brings up a lot of good points, but one of them being that in the 60s, a lot of adventure films were just going to the Africa and Middle East and, taking or killing stuff. Like Indiana Jones and Lara Croft are still my goats, but they are kind of colonizers. Yeah, they're silent like in Neo 2 when making Yasuke a samurai, no problems there, but now they use the woke and historically inaccurate card to avoid being called a racist. Now that's facts, because he is in Neo and a game called Samurai Warriors 5, that was really cool, and he had his own Netflix anime that I hate you all for letting it flop, because it was awesome. Like, bro literally has a statue in the real world, why are we arguing? He was a servant/clown for the emperor, not a samurai, and I'm not white. I'm just tired of diversity, meaning make everyone black. I'm gonna have to call cab. I mean, nobody really calls you white, so you just self-reported. And to counter his point, the movie Gods of Egypt had a 95% white cast, and Egypt as a whole has a history of being portrayed by white people, which is really weird. Ah yes, because we all know how historically accurate AC has been. Valhalla had druids wielding Thor's hammer when you're certainly not worthy, whatever the fuck that is. And don't say it's all because of the Assassin's Creed RPG stuff. Because back in AC3, we had the tyranny of King Washington. That man got a magical staff from ancient gods and had shadow clone jutsu. What are we talking about? Origins has the giant snake and light arrow. Odyssey had mad mythical zones running around like Medusa and the Minotaur. And all of that's fine because this is historical fiction. Then Locke comes back with the facts talking about how Yasuke was a retainer, which does provide military service, and since he was there for 3 years, it's perfect for AC to be able to write a story around. And even if they did keep it to an Assassin's Creed in Africa, the same tantrums would be had. They would all cry about how we already have 2 black assassins and glorified side quests for Black Flag, and we don't need any more, while having all the representation of Edward, Ivor, Arno, both the Fry twins, and Ezio Auditore. Now at this point, I'd like to look at Pathetic Man's video and essentially rip it there until it is done.
And of course, it stars a black man in feudal Japan.
A black man who actually existed according to historical accounts by From Left to Right, Oda Nobunaga, Louis Freud, and John Cassert. Twice as a coincidence, 3 times as a pattern. And it's weird that he's putting such an emphasis on the problem that he's black.
Now, this is where all the people who are trying to change the definition of woke come out and say, Yasuke was a real samurai from feudal Japan, and you're just a racist for not wanting to play as him.
Yes! Yes!
First of all, Yasuke wasn't a samurai, he was a servant.
And a retainer, which we've clearly discussed, deals with the military.
Effectively a pet of Oda Nobunaga.
Nah, he was definitely a slave, but calling him a pet is wild as fuck. That shit got undertones to me.
But whatever, it's not like Assassin's Creed was ever that historically accurate. That's not the point, it was never the point.
So why do you care? Why are you making this video?
It's a game set in Japan, and instead of playing as a Japanese man saving his country from the evil Japanese Templars, but no, we play as the one notable black man from historical Japan, and you know exactly why. Oh, and of course I can't...
Nah, I might have missed it, but did he just, like, not explain why? Because I don't know. Do you know?
Oh, and of course I can't forget to mention there's also a playable female protagonist who thankfully is Japanese, but unfortunately has a wide face and a man jaw. Of course, we couldn't have a woman with feminine features because that would be transphobic. You think...
My brother in Christ. Are you dead the fuck ass? Did you want my from KOF? I really thought we were past the whole unrealistic body standard for women thing, not to be a male feminist about it, but like, this is how you can tell a nigga has no bitches.
Now look, I'm not gonna act like I'm super shocked, because now several Assassin's Creed games have had female protagonists, but I really think it's the icing on the cake in this whole shit show. But no, that's not woke apparently. Woke only means contrived forced diversity.
No, dummy, that's what society has turned it into.
Since I was asked a bunch of times by tourists to this channel to define woke, it's very simple. It's whatever ESG or Bridge is pushing, aka progressive leftist politics. That's what woke is. Woke is not some arbitrary idea of what you're not okay with.
Is he actually retarded? Am I bullying a mentally disabled person? Everything he said has been arbitrary in his opinion. And that WASD shit, I don't even know what that meant.
There's this little thing called the Overton window. You have slowly been conditioned to accept more and more. I'm not going to use the term again that every centrist grifter fucking got triggered by. I'll just say miscegenation. Feel free to Google that. Apparently that doesn't count as woke, even if that's very obviously part of their agenda. There's a reason why it's in every goddamn commercial on TV. It's in every TV show. It's in every fucking movie. But no, that's not woke, according to fucking retards.
Kids, the guy is black and he's white, so he's talking about like, oh, it's race mixing and promoting race mixing.
But that's not even being woke.
So yes, if
So W take here from Oompa and Charlie, but it's just weird on an Assassin's Creed video to be crying about race mixing. Sounds like he got scarred from watching too much Black at home.
And look, I know I'm rambling about something completely unrelated to this Assassin's Creed trailer, but I do want to say it's very clear to me, at least with the debate going on around a lot of adaptations or race swapping or interracial couples or replacement characters like Miles Morales, that people don't seem to understand where the line is with woke. Again, for normies who don't really give a flying fuck about the culture war and don't even understand that they're slowly being conditioned to accept worse and worse things I actually can't even say in a video or this channel will probably get deleted. Again, I think you guys already know what I'm talking about, and by the time they realize, it will definitely be too late.
Broken clocks, man, they're right twice a day. I have seen a lot of shows recently that if they weren't so changed for the now, trying to be current, they could have been something good, but a lot of that pandering and, modernization took it down the wrong path.
I really think people have just become too stupid. I mean, honestly, if you just take away the woke element of the Fallout show, that show is just straight up retarded. The plot doesn't make any sense. There's a reason why even Mauler didn't like the show, okay? And yet normies ate that shit up, which is why you have people like Critical defending it, because all they do is parrot the most popular opinion. And so the Fallout show is not woke, but this Assassin's Creed game is woke. I'm really starting to think that normies unironically think woke means thing with left-wing propaganda that I don't like. If they do like the thing, they will ignore all left-wing propaganda in it. Perfect example, Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Super cringe to be calling people normies unironically, coming at Charlie and Fallout when you're supposed to be talking about AC. Bro's like shooting from the hip right now.
So the word has become effectively meaningless. I feel like for every tiny victory that quote-unquote our team, and I'm using that very loosely, okay, our team doesn't exactly agree on a lot of shit, as I've learned over the past few years. But even the tiny victories we have made effectively are meaningless because the brainwashing is way too fucking strong. So no, I don't think this is any kind of victory that the average person hates this Assassin's Creed game, because they have no real principles. They do not stand for anything. Maybe if this released in 5 more years, they wouldn't give a flying fuck that Yasuke's black. Now, if you're wondering why this video isn't really talking about gameplay or thoughts on, like, the concept of the game, that's because it's just a CG trailer. There's not much to actually talk about. So might as well just talk politics. It's unfortunate that my gaming channel, and it has always primarily been a gaming channel, not a politics channel, I unfortunately have to talk about politics in almost every single modern game review, because ESG, bridge, DEI, whatever is being shoved into every major video game.
Nah, bro did not just make it like we forced his hand. He is insane. Nobody asked you to do any of this. You did this of your own volition. Gotham did not ask you to put the cowl on, little bro.
And I know I'm just preaching to the choir, explaining the same things over and over again to explain where ESG funding comes from, whether it's BlackRock or Vanguard. And I'm not even actually allowed to talk about why they're funding these things in games, why they're pushing it, and I already know my fans know exactly why. So what's the point of saying it for tourists at the risk of banning my channel? There isn't one. And truth be told, am I all that outraged about this? Honestly, no.
Stop the cap.
I mean, I do enjoy getting mad for these videos. It's actually pretty cathartic to yell into a microphone, believe it or not. And I actually saw the leak about this game's concept like a year ago, and even as far as Clown World has gone, I was slightly suspicious of it, but let's just say when there was a second leak less than a week ago, I wasn't all that surprised. And Assassin's Creed has been effectively dead to me since, like, probably Black Flag. So I really have no personal investment in the IP anymore. And look, I truly thought Assassin's Creed Mirage was just okay. It wasn't terrible. Yes, it did have some woke stuff in it, definitely, but gameplay-wise, it was a step in the right direction. But it definitely wasn't enough to get me interested in Assassin's Creed again. I don't think anything could.
That also appears to be untrue. Also, the dude just doesn't even prove his side of the point, just says, my fans know. He gives no reason as to why these random military call signs are evil.
And this trailer just justifies that thought completely. I mean, truly, if you buy this game, you're helping kill the video game industry. There's not a doubt in my mind. There is no reason that this game should sell well. If it does, it truly tells you how cucked our modern society is. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say about this. It's not like we had gameplay to work with. The only thing I can tell you to do is just keep voting with your wallet. Don't buy this slop no matter what. I mean, I might review it just to make an entertaining video, but sure as hell not a single one of my fans should spend any money on any Ubisoft game. And I mean any Ubisoft game.
Did he not just say you're cucked if you buy this? I think I was a bit too right earlier. Alright, closing statement so I can get out of here, man.
It's obvious that us not buying these games is having some effect on the industry. I seem to recall reading that BlackRock lost like $1 trillion on investments. That's an unimaginable amount of money. So it's obvious that if we just keep doing this, at the very least, they'll have to pull back a little. Now, somebody like me, I'm always going to read into the more subtle propaganda, no matter how much people think I'm reading into shit. I actually understand these things. They do not, which is clear from all of the backlash against my Fallout videos. So trust me, I'm not gonna suddenly become an optimist if this woke funding suddenly pulls out of the game industry, because we have to remember that a lot of the developers working for these modern AAA companies are also far leftists. Because of their mental illness, they genuinely think they're doing a good thing by spreading their ideology in art. So I think it's going to be a long battle in the years to come, but I think we are making a small amount of headway. So just no matter what, don't buy this slop. That's about it. See you next time, guys.
God, this was physically taxing. I am sick in bed recording this, so we really do gotta speed this up a little bit. This ending is everything that is wrong with this man. He thinks he's so smart, he thinks everything is woke, and that it's going to destabilize his perfect idea of a white America, I guess. He can't take any criticism without getting in his bag about it, and then if you don't agree with him, he'll just call you a left-wing or a normie, which is still super cringe. In conclusion, this dude's a racist and he sucks, but, you know, don't expect this kind of drama-esque content from me. I just like to play games, bro. This guy just pissed me off, and we shouldn't be allowing people to just do this kind of shit unchecked, so, yeah, bye.